East Africa's largest film, music and arts festival, bringing new talents together from all over the world. In honor of Nelson Mandela, this year's installment will start on the 18th of July, bringing cinema productions from Africa and beyond to various venues across the island. Several from South African films will be judged in the various categories and competitions. One of the entries is Lebogang Rasithaba's Prisoner 46764. That's the untold legacy of Andrew Mlangeni. Lebogang is in studio with me. So good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
It's glad to be here, thank you.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Is this the first time? Am I saying it right? Is it ZIFF? Is that how you pronounce it, or is it the Z-I-F-F?
I've only ever read it, so I don't know. I'm going to go with what you go with.
Oh, you're going to go with what I go with. Okay, cool. Let's just call it that. Is it the first time you're showcasing your work there?
At ZIFF, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time.
Amazing. And how big is the festival?
It is pretty big, and it's been going on for some time. It's quite a premium festival on the continent.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really nice festivals on the continent. Even in South Africa, there's really nice festivals, but Zanzibar International Film Festival is one of the premium ones.
Something special about it.
Yeah.
And where does it take place? Is it in Stone Town, or whereabout does the festival happen?
Different parts, yeah. So you just kind of move around. There's our screening is on the 19th of July. I think, and I'm not sure where the venue is, but I know that it's kind of spread out.
Spread out over the island. I asked that because I'm actually going to be in Zanzibar at that time.
Really?
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I've got to make my way down there and come and see some of the screenings happening.
Yeah, there's a good selection of film there.
Lots of South African films.
Yeah. Ours is just one of many, but I know like mine is shot down by Ria Desahai, so there's just like really good films. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your film now. It's actually nice that there's a story of Andrew Mlangeni, because you know we always have so much focusing on Madiba and so much focusing on some of the other guys that have been in prison, but I've never really seen a documentary on the life of Andrew Mlangeni.
Yeah, it's a pity, but it's also kind of beautiful, I guess, because the story of an unsung hero is something that's very interesting, and I think it's something that should be told. It should have been done a long time ago, in fact. Yeah. Because I guess when we started making the film and when we started doing some of the interviews, one of the most kind of consistent things that the people interviewed were saying, particularly Dennis Goldberg articulated so well, he was like, it kind of is a disservice for all the great leaders. So not to take anything away from what Madiba did, he was a great man and he did a lot of great things. But if you look at him exclusively, then it kind of, is not a true representation of how complex the struggle was as a network, as a system of individuals coming together. Yeah. So in that sense, it's a really important story to tell, to open up the narrative.
And I don't think Madiba ever wanted that. I don't think Madiba ever wanted to outshine anybody else. I mean, there were so many men that were imprisoned and so many people that were with him, struggle stalwarts throughout this entire process. Yeah. And, you know, we know so much about Madiba. And I think he would like us to know more about his fellow prisoners as well. I mean, Ahmed Kathrada being one of them, and we've seen a documentary coming out on his life. So, Andrew Mlangeni, what in this documentary did you find to be one of the most interesting things about him?
So, yeah, I guess the hardest thing about making a film about someone, so taking someone who exists quite on the peripheries of history and putting him at the center of history, is that textually he wasn't really present in history. So like in terms of photographs, in terms of archive, it was quite difficult to find his story. There's just very little documentation of him. So when we first started making the film, we were kind of making a completely different film. It was still this like autobiographical, it was, you know, a story about an individual and his role in the struggle. But just how little resource and information there was about him was like kind of scary. Yeah. But yeah, just very but that's also kind of out of like a choice that he made, and you know, a choice that they made, that it was never really about like you know, some kind of like a hierarchy. There was just like a group of people like working together to do something amazing. But how he positioned himself as a backroom boy, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want
He didn't want that limelight in the front there. How did you come about doing this documentary? I mean, was he very supportive of it? Did he want to have this documentary made of his life?
Yeah, it was difficult kind of selling. I mean, in interviewing him, you have to ask him questions that like really push him to the forefront of stuff, and he never really wanted. So that challenge of trying to make him accept how big his story is, he wasn't really.
He wasn't too comfortable.
He wasn't for that, but he was for being filmed, and it was really fun. You know, he's like old, he's silly, he's funny. But I guess maybe because I've known him for some time, and we spent quite a lot of time together in making the film, it became easy. But yeah, like there's a lot of challenges in interviewing like a 80 at the time he was 88-year-old man.
Wow.
It's just like moods.
Indeed.
But then, because he'll get tired, you know, so he'll be really funny and really be nice to be around at the beginning, and then he'll get tired, and then he'll start to repeat himself, so then you'd have to take the break. But just the whole process was really beautiful, just how open he was to our presence and how much he was willing to share with us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The documentary obviously being screened at the Zanzibar Film Festival, but when are we as South Africans going to be able to see this?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest struggles, is trying to get it out. But I think we're in talks with some local broadcasters just to have it on television.
Good.
I want to try get it into like schools. I've spoken to some lecturers to have it become part of a curriculum. The music in the film is done by a music lecturer from ZIFF, so to have that, you know, to kind of separate it into different things, because on one level it's like archival, so it can form part of an archival conversation. Then there's a music side of it, then there's a film side of it. So
Indeed.
just to plug it into all those worlds that it represents would be amazing.
Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck with the filming. Well, not the filming, it's the now showcasing of this amazing documentary. And I mean, some of the other essay works nominated for the Horn of Africa Awards at the festival, which you are nominated for, include 21 Icons, A Journey to Democracy by Adrian Stern. Amazing stuff there. As I Am, Sihle Hlope, and Utando by Tulanana Buhele. So those are just some of the other names. For more information, just have a look at Zanzibar International Film Festival on Facebook or www.ziff, that's ziff.or.tz. Thanks again and good luck. Keep us updated. And I hope I can make my way down to this film festival while I'm there. Lebogang Rasethaba, who is the producer of Prisoner 46764, The Untold Legacy of Andrew Mlangeni. Let's leave you there for today. Thank you so much for watching. We're back on your screens again bright and early tomorrow morning. You take care. And here we leave you with the Soul Brothers and the late David Masondo. Our deepest sympathies to him, well, his family and his friends as well. Shap, shap, everybody. See you tomorrow.